welcome back to my channel for a bonus video. Today's video is going to be a Mediterranean grocery haul and also recipes. So I'm going to be showing you guys everything I got for a Mediterranean diet and then how I put all these things together for our recipes this week. Everything was super delicious, so make sure that you stay tuned for all the details. So this week I am making a traditional Greek salad, baked chicken drumsticks with lemon and garlic, a Mediterranean style toasted orzo with Parmesan and sun-dried tomatoes, and then a Tuscan white bean soup, which is called ribollita, and I'm sure I actually butchered that. But let me go ahead and show you guys what we got. So we spent $40 at Aldi and then $125 at Walmart. So this is all the ingredients for our meals and a couple of other like toiletries and stuff that we got. So from Aldi, my husband and I love getting the goat cheese with like the fruit added to them. It adds so much flavor. We like to eat these with crackers or different things like that when we're snacking. The Parmesan cheese is for a couple of the recipes. These are for snacks, raspberries and strawberries. We got a bunch of 2 different kinds of grapes for snacks as well. This is for snacks for my husband. He likes to eat this with the granola from Aldi. So this is the dark chocolate and sea salt Superfoods granola. And then Lexa likes this as a snack, so he picked this up for her and Kenzie to share. It's just some salami with a little cheese and breadsticks. And then I actually have never seen this there before, so it's pretty cool. You get 4 different types of hummus. So that's a great snack to have with either some veggies. We have some of those sweet bell peppers, the little colored ones that I got last week, still in the fridge. So that'll make a great dipper for these. And then these crackers, and that is everything from Aldi. Now from Walmart, this is for the soup. It calls for this, so we're gonna be cooking with this. And instead of getting the cooking wine, we've gotten the white and red cooking wines before and we didn't always care for them. He decided to try this. He just looked up what was a good white wine for cooking that was like a dry white wine that wouldn't be super sweet. We got the Pinot Grigio, the Menage a Trois Pinot Grigio for that. That is for the Tuscan soup. He got these are the buttermilk waffles that our girls like to have sometimes in the mornings, and then these fruit and grain cereal bars are for snacks for them. Some more breakfast items for the girls. For whatever reason, the Walmarts in Michigan and here never had their store brand of grits. So we get the Quaker brand, but we can always find the oatmeal in the Great Value brand. So the apple and cinnamon is their favorite. This vegetable broth is for the soup. And then these Triscuits are for our little snacking. These are some of the ones that we really enjoy snacking on. The ciabatta bread, this is for the Tuscan white bean soup as well. This is for the chicken. We got 2 packs of chicken. We just need 1 this week and the other's gonna go in the freezer. So these are just drumsticks. The vegetables to go in the meals, we have celery, onion, garlic, green bell pepper, kale, red onion, so yellow onion, red onion, carrots, some English or, what's the other word for English? Hothouse cucumbers, so we got 1 of those. And then we got some tomatoes on the vine. If you guys haven't tried these, they taste so much more flavorful than just regular old tomatoes. It tastes more like fresh out of a garden, so we like to get these. Then we needed some lemons for a couple of the recipes, and this is for the orzo recipe that I'm making, so we got 2 boxes of that. We needed 1 of these for cleaning out my water bottle, so we grabbed another 1 of those. 2 cans of these beans for the Tuscan soup. Some whole tomatoes in a can, that is for the Tuscan soup, and then 2 things of these Kalamata olives. This is for the traditional Greek salad. And then we got some sun-dried tomatoes, and I believe these are in olive oils with Italian herbs. Some of these feta cheese green olives for snacking. Some thyme and some dill to go in the recipes as well. And then Lexa wanted to get some strawberry jam. They hadn't had that in quite a while. And then we have our usual gallon of milk. We were just out of this, so we needed some more. And I did just buy a big thing of salt, but this is for a crawfish boil we're gonna be doing. So that is separate from our other groceries. And then Alexa wanted these as for a snack as well. Now we also got a couple of other toiletry items that I missed over here that we're hiding. This soap, which we have never gotten before, so this is a new one for us. I'm guessing they must have smelt it. Wild blueberry, it sounds like it smells good. And then Aaron needed a new loofah. These are the little smell goods to put in our cars to keep them smelling good. And then Kenzie needed a new toothbrush, so he got her this one. And this one's actually, instead of just being a kid's spin brush, it's actually a sonic pulse. So I'm curious to see how Kenzie does with that, because that kind of sounds like it's a little bit better than just the regular old spin brushes that you usually get for kids. So in this video, I'm going to be making some Mediterranean inspired dishes for you guys. First recipe I'm going to be making for you guys is ribollita, which is a Tuscan white bean soup. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but that means reboiled. So let's go ahead and get started on the Tuscan white bean soup for the Mediterranean diet recipes. So of course I will have all of these recipes linked down below as per usual, but for this recipe you're going to need ciabatta bread, olive oil, red onion, celery, carrots, salt, garlic, tomatoes, white wine, vegetable broth, cantellini beans, a Parmesan rind, or sprigs of thyme, basil leaf, dried oregano, crushed red pepper flakes, which are optional, and then your kale and grated Parmesan cheese. Started by rinsing my canned beans. It helps to remove a lot of the starch and sodium that are put into canned beans. Then I had my little helpers help me here. They were super excited for this part. We just tore up all the ciabatta bread into small pieces, and then we put it in the oven with some olive oil, salt, and pepper, and roasted that at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes, or just until it's toasted and golden brown. While my little helpers were taking care of the bread, I decided to go ahead and start chopping up the vegetables. So you're going to want to chop up your celery, onions, carrots, and get all those ready to go in the pot. You guys will see me a little bit later in this video put the purple onion or red onion, whatever you call it, I know people call it by both names, into some ice water or cold water. And what that does is it just takes away the bite of the purple onion. I don't know if you guys have ever been eating a salad with raw purple onion and you're like, it just almost like a horseradish, or it's like overpowering flavor. Putting your red onions in some cold ice water, or even just cold water, you don't necessarily have to have the ice bath, but you just put it in there for 10 minutes and it actually takes away the bite. And I usually only do this if I'm eating them raw. I did it on this day out of habit. Just wanted to let you guys know, because that's not part of the actual recipe. It's just something I did out of habit on this day, so that's definitely not a necessary step. Now I do always peel my carrots prior to chopping them up, because I find that this takes away some better flavor as well. For me, if I don't peel my carrots, I feel like they just have such a better flavor, so I prefer to do that prior to chopping them up and putting them in whatever recipe I'm using them for. So once you have all of these veggies in a pot with some olive oil, you're going to go ahead and simmer those on high heat, add a little salt to it, and then you're going to toss in your garlic until it's golden brown. This is what my ciabatta bread looked like after about 10 minutes in the oven, and let me tell you guys, this was so delicious and added a lot to this recipe. So that's my garlic. I did still go back and chop it a little bit more, but here I am just putting all the vegetables in the pot with some salt and olive oil. Then it was time for the white wine. So if you're not a drinker, don't worry. When you cook white wine, it does, take all of the alcohol out of it. So I added the garlic first, cooked that down for a few moments, and then added the white wine and the tomatoes and the vegetable broth. Like I said earlier, you do want to take a wooden spoon and kind of chop up those whole tomatoes just so they're a little easier to eat. And then I took my Parmesan cheese and just cut the rind right off and threw it into the pot. Now you're going to pull this out later before you eat it, but it will mostly dissolve and melt. This just adds a ton of flavor into this recipe. So next you're going to take your beans and you're going to preserve about a cup of them out on the side. And you're going to take those beans and some of the mixture that you have going in the pot
got probably a couple like cups worth and put all that together in the food processor or blender. I'm using my blender here, and just pulverize this and then add it back to the soup. So you're gonna have some chunky and some creamy, and it makes a really good mixture for the overall just texture of the soup. Then I added bay leaves and thyme leaves. The bay leaves will be pulled out of the recipe prior to eating it. Everything else except for the rind and the bay leaf stays in there. But if you guys have never cooked with bay leaves, those do come out. Otherwise, people are going to think they're eating like leaves off of a tree. They don't dissolve or anything like that. And then I was showing you guys that I added oregano and red pepper flakes, but I so gracefully dropped those into the pot. So this is what the rind looked like after it had been cooking for quite a while. I dissolved basically in half, so you could go ahead and pull that out, you know, whenever you're ready to eat. Yeah, so it's limp, and if you've never cooked with the rind, that is what it looks like. So this is what our soup is looking like once I added the kale. The kale does go in towards the end, just enough so that you can wilt it. And for me, I found if I cut my kale up even smaller than this, my girls have a better time eating it. So I did go back and chop it up even more when I've made this soup again. But I love it like this because I like kale. If you're worried about your kids eating kale, then definitely chop it up even smaller. You could probably do this with spinach and it would be good as well, because spinach doesn't have quite as strong of a flavor as kale. So yeah, this is what we did. We just put a little bit of the bread in the bowl and then put the soup on top and served it with some of that shredded Parmesan. And this was so delicious. You guys have to try it. The next meal I'm sharing was my favorite of the week. It was baked chicken drumsticks with lemon and garlic. For the sides, we had a toasted orzo pasta recipe with Parmesan and sun-dried tomatoes, and then we had a traditional Greek salad. So to start out with the chicken, you're just gonna need your drumsticks, salt, pepper, oregano, coriander, sweet paprika, cumin, garlic, yellow onion, lemons, and olive oil. So measure out all of your seasonings and mix them all together. Toss them with your chicken, chopped up onion and garlic, and some olive oil and lemon juice. Shake it all up in a bag. Then you're gonna dump it into a oven-proof pan with your sliced up lemon and bake that at 450 degrees for 35 minutes or until your chicken is fully done. And while that chicken was cooking, I decided to go ahead and get started on the orzo pasta. Now you're supposed to put this in your pan with a little bit of olive oil and toast the pasta. I put a little too much in the pan. I probably should either put it in a skillet or did a little bit less at a time, but that is just going to toast it and start bringing the flavors of the orzo out. Once it is a golden brown, you're going to go ahead and add that pasta to some boiling water with a little bit of water and just cook it until it is al dente. Al dente? Al dente. Once your pasta is done, make sure that you reserve 1 cup of the water. We're going to use that later. The additional ingredients you'll need for this recipe are garlic, red pepper flakes, juice of half of a lemon, parsley chopped, dill chopped, sun-dried tomatoes that are in olive oil, black pepper, and your grated Parmesan. While the pasta is cooking, you're going to go ahead and cook the garlic with a little bit of salt and red peppers and some olive oil, and just toss it until it's fragrant. Then you're going to add the lemon juice and half a cup of the pasta cooking water to go ahead and start making your sauce. And once that comes to a boil, you're actually going to go ahead and add all of the other ingredients and mix them in with the orzo pasta, and you are ready to eat. So I was kind of in a rush to finish dinner on this day, so I didn't record me making this Greek salad, but all you do is chop all the ingredients and mix them together. So I'll definitely share the link down below for this recipe. This meal was so delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're gonna try it, leave me a comment down below and let me know. If you have a favorite Greek or Mediterranean style recipe that your family loves, please share that down with us below. I would love to try it, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.